While EA struggles to birth the successor for the next generation of The Sims, inZOI is hoping to take us to school while Paralives is calling the exterminator girl. I don't know, there's a lot going on with the big three and we have so much to cover. So go ahead and grab yourself a warm cup of tea or an entire bottle of Chardonnay. So that way we can go over everything in this very first episode of Doll House Diaries. But first, happy time zone. I'm Ivory, your host here, delivering you all of the tea, hot topics, and latest news on our favorite life sim games, as well as sharing our stories in our favorite doll houses. We have a lot to cover today, and I want to start with The Sims 4 because, baby, I checked on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and when I went there, one of the first tweets I saw was from The Sims. And at first, I was like, okay, I don't get the reference. And then I looked at Eliza's finger, and you have to be, like, they have to be very aware, right? And I retweeted this and I was like, I feel like the intern might be one of us because you have to be aware of how broken your game is when you're taking a photo with a sim and the finger shows the broken CC issues. Just like, why would you do that? And I just thought about it and I'm like, perhaps the intern is like one of us, a hopeful simmer, probably got a job at EA years ago and they're like, oh, this is not working for me, baby, this is not it. So it really shocked me how the community was just unanimously coming for them. Like, they were not letting up off the Sims. And it inspired me to like look and see where they're at with the bugs, because I really want to start off, you know, the segments for the big three. I always want to go over the bugs, patches, and hot fixes first with these games. With The Sims is very disappointing because there's so much that they could fix. And if you go to like their main page here, they're more focused on being relevant as opposed to fixing the game. Like, they're tweeting about 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎, they're tweeting about one of the marketplace collabs that they have, Nancy Wears Madeline. And they did tweet about their quality of life updates for May, but this is something that dropped weeks ago. Like, we're talking the first week of May. So there really hasn't been much bug fixes or any patches. And the thing that bothers me about The Sims 4 is that they have so much resources, right? To my knowledge, they have a team that is big enough to make sure that they're working on these bug fixes. I know that the issue with The Sims 4 is that a lot of these bugs go back to the base game, and instead of them fixing these bugs, they just kept expanding and expanding. So it's kind of, you know, their bug fixes are a bit unique because if you go back and fix these bugs and find the spaghetti code, what is the root of this issue? Then you have to go back and make sure that it's compatible with all of the DLC. So while it's frustrating as a consumer and as somebody who has played The Sims for years, it's frustrating how reluctant they are to fix these bugs. But at the same time, I get it because they did this backwards. Instead of making sure that the base game was, you know, you're never going to have a game be completely bug free, right? But instead of minimizing the bugs, they just kept building on top of mess, and then mess got put on mess, mess on mess on mess. And that is what's going on with The Sims here, which kind of brings me to this news point for The Sims, which is the brand new SimSearch. And the SimSearch is a new feature that allows you to search different keywords throughout the gallery. So they put this info up today on the forum, and it says, have you tried the SimSearch in the gallery yet? Since last week's launch, we've noticed many players are still searching using single words and keywords. While that still works, SimSearch can do much more. SimSearch was designed to help you find creations in new ways through cross-language text and text-to-image search. So instead of thinking about the exact title, hashtag, or creator name, you can describe what you're looking for and let SimSearch do the work. So you can search across languages. One of the biggest benefits of SimSearch is that it can surface creations from simmers around the world, even if they upload them in different in a different language. Ooh, that sentence was coming for me. So cross-language search looks beyond titles and hashtags, helping connect you with content you may never have found before. Try searches like Big Brick House, La Mansion Verte, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 𝒯𝒾𝓂𝓒𝑒, I don't know French girl. You might discover amazing creations from creators who don't speak your language, but whose builds are exactly what you're looking for. Describe what you want. With text-to-image search, you don't have to guess the perfect keyword. Instead, think about the visual elements you're searching for. Want a red farmhouse to match your new red horse barn? Try looking up big red house. Need a new cemetery to store all your urns and tombstones? You can search ghosts. Looking for something more on the industrial architecture side? Try typing in metal fence. SimSearch goes beyond traditional text matching and helps connect your search terms to what appears in gallery images. I need water. I'm trying to read and the words are like, yeah, let me get a sip of water. Hold on. So SimSearch is also in beta, but they did turn off the comments. I believe many of the comments are turned off for these, but the one thing that sticks out to me again is how desperate they are for relevancy. SimSearch, I don't have any proof on this. This is just me adding conjecture. A shout out to the upcoming season of Apothecary Diaries in October. I am so sad for that. And if you guys want a Discord watch party, please let me know. I am so here for it. Anyway, conjecture is one of my new favorite words since I became a fan of that light novel in the show, but I don't want to add too much conjecture here, but the SimSearch essentially sounds like AI, and the red flag for that is text to image. So AI, as much as we don't like it and as much as we're opposed to it and it takes from creators, what have you, it's bad for the environment. Unfortunately, the world does not care. Big tech does not care. The governments throughout the world do not care how detrimental AI will be to society as a whole, globally. So, of course, Electronic Arts is partaking in AI and how AI can be innovative in the gaming space. So SimSearch is just something that is AI. It's using AI as a tool to scan through every single picture that we have as SMers in the gallery. And that kind of makes me uncomfortable and disappointed in a lot of ways, because there's many other ways that they could have done this. They could have improved the tagging system. They could have done something to where players can, oh, well, this is the new things, like we've added these new parameters for search, and you can go back and optimize your creations that you have on the gallery. But instead of doing that and rebuilding the gallery and rebuilding the search manually, they implemented AI. But I remember when inZOI came out and how people were like, well, this game involves AI. It's never going to be anything. Because it uses AI, this game will fail. It steals from creators. Games shouldn't have AI. This is why The Sims will always be on top. Only for The Sims to turn around and then resort to implementing AI into their game as well. And it really just makes me wonder, not just like life simulation, especially our favorite Doll House life sim games, what they will look like in the future. But it really makes me concerned as somebody who is a gamer first. I've been gaming since I was a young girl. I remember when I first got my hands on The Sims 2 Castaway, and then I got The Sims on PC and then Sims 3, and I have always been a gamer. So as someone who was passionate about the experience and about the craft of gaming, I'm very concerned with the next 3, 5, 10, 15 years, when I'm 40 and taking my 3-year-old to daycare, what games am I going to be playing when I'm home and bored? You know what I mean? I have a lot of concerns, but knowing that The Sims is getting involved in AI is a red flag, because out of all of the games in this genre, out of all of them, I would expect for Sims to be the last one to resort to AI, especially since this is a franchise that has been around for like over 25 years. They have the resources, they know how to execute these games. So it's just kind of unfortunate seeing this. And this just again ties into them losing their own identity and fighting for relevancy, because we get to see leaks for what is it? Project X, Project Renee, Disappointment Number 1, Disappointment 2, freaking frack. And it's just really sad to see. Recently, there were some leaks that came out, and there was somebody that was a part of a big Y, youth test group for Project Renee. And I remember when I saw the picture, mind you, I don't have any nieces or nephews yet. I just have like younger siblings, younger cousins. My mom had me and my older brother pretty young. But you know, I'm not familiar with what is it? The movie. Oh my gosh. It's like the K-pop Demon Hunter. I was about to say it's the K-pop movie. The movie is called K-pop Demon Hunters. I've never seen the movie in my life, but when I was scrolling through, I saw the leak and I'm like, oh, that's the movie that the babies love. And then I looked at it a little bit closer and I'm like, I know good and daggone well this is not an EA leak. I know this isn't an EA leak. You're joking. But it is, and it's just very disturbing to see how they are losing their identity. I would say that the first few generations of The Sims, they've always been able to maintain their own unique identity. We all know Max's match when we see it. We all remember that iconic art style. Even the art style of The Sims 3, I know a lot of people say, I wasn't a fan of that. I prefer this. Well, okay, well, you were a fan of it when The Sims 3 came out because you played it, right? So like we were always accustomed to Maxis just having its own unique style and being a trendsetter. And as we get to see more leaks for Project Renee and Project X, it's kind of flop. It's a flop waiting to happen, because when I look at anything that is Project Renee related, I don't see anything unique. It literally looks like any other game that came out after 2018 that has a more youthful audience. And I get that's probably where they're trying to put their coin right now, because a lot of these games that are very popular with the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, the babies, the iPad warriors, a lot of these games are very successful and they are rich in microtransactions. They have these loot boxes. And I will say that if EA does try to go down that road, I know they have one, but I'm hoping that they have a really good legal team, because the climate is changing around these games that are focused on loot boxes and microtransactions that promote and market to the youth. It's becoming a very slippery slope, and it's just unhealthy how we try to prey on children and their allowance or their parents' wallet. It's just very gross, and in a lot of places it's illegal to market to children like that, but not here in America. So it's very concerning that they want to go down this road, at least for Project Renee. And it looks clearly like it's a mobile game. Even the photos are like vertical layout, and this looks like something that you will play on an iPad. But even the art style, like I don't see anything trend-setting. I don't see anything unique. Even The Sims Free Play, The Sims Mobile had their own unique style. Like I could look at that and know that that's not a random mobile game. That's The Sims. But with Project Renee, I look at this, I'm like, is this K-pop Demon Hunters? Is this Fortnite? Is this like some brand new Roblox? And it's their insecurity about how relevant they are in the modern world, especially when it's not just The Sims that they struggle with, but they struggle with a lot of their other titles. And it's very clear that there's a lot of insecurity there. If there wasn't, they wouldn't have bought out. They wouldn't have sold their soul, or I guess the soul of their company, to who they sold it to. And Project Renee, I feel like they're putting all their resources into something that might end up flopping. But if you know anything about the diehard Sims fans, diehard EA lovers, is that at the end of the day, they're going to support no matter what. So I definitely see, you know, the crowd that's just like, oh, I don't have a problem with the buyout, or I still play The Sims, or, you know, let's go protest. But when we protest, make sure you use my code. No shade, but I hope you caught it. You know, like, I hope. I definitely see the type of simmers who are like, you know, I don't really see a problem with the buyout, or, you know, we have to keep buying Sims products because think of the people that work there. Or let's protest, but when you protest, make sure you use my code. And I hope you caught that shade, because that is a direct one to all of you. But I see them being, you know, like the parents of these kids that are like, oh my God, little one, let's get on your iPad and let's play The Sims. Now you look just like mommy. Like, yeah, mommy's playing Sims, you're playing Sims too. Like, I see this being the game for those kids. Like, you know, the kids of parents who are diehard, dedicated simmers no matter what. And I know I won't be participating. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. I will not be participating at all. But like, even what we know about Project X, it just seems devoid of any personality, devoid of any like trend-setting qualities. And it's just, I don't know who they need to hire back. I don't know who they need to bring back on the team, but it's a sinking ship. And it's very clear why The Sims 5 is never going to see the light of day, because this company has lost any concept of innovation. And it seems like they forgot who they were and what these games meant to people, because now they're just like selling out. And yeah, money is the root of all evil, because honestly, there's no reason, like zero reason, why EA should have to go out like this, but they're choosing greed over quality. So hey, it is what it is. But I don't know about you guys, but whether it's Project Renee, Project X, or if they bring back The Sims 5, I don't know if I would be a part of it. But at the end of the day, I'll always have The Sims, I guess The Sims 4, I haven't played it in a while, The Sims 3, 2, I recently played The Sims 1 for the first time when they remastered it, and Medieval, but I don't know if I'm going to be set for the next generation of The Sims. But we will put our electronic arts, our Sims dollies down for now and dive into a bit of inZOI. inZOI. We have a lot to talk about with inZOI. And I know that this is probably of the big three that are out, this is, you know, the little sister, little brother of the three. I feel like it's starting to build a player base back up, but it is happening slowly. And I personally do enjoy playing inZOI. Was I hypercritical about it at the start? Yes. Was I hypercritical about it while I was partnered with inZOI? Yes. Do I wish I purchased inZOI with my own money? Absolutely. But, you know, I will say that even with me just being very honest and upfront about my experience with inZOI earlier on, prior to the August update, it was nice not to be kicked out the program, first and foremost. It was nice not to be kicked out the program, but also it was a refreshing experience because I've never been a part of something where my voice mattered. And a lot of the things that I was like bitching and complaining about were things that they ended up adding as fixes, you know, like even the calendar system. I've made many comments. I've made many threads where partners had, you know, different avenues of communication. I've posted many a thread and sent many an email about holidays and calendars and like all of that. So just to see some things be added into the game and just having an open communication with the dev team. Like I've corresponded with 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 before. I've corresponded with like Joel, and they, I would say, are very receptive. They do say no to some things. They are just, I don't know, like they're a very open team. So it's been refreshing to see, you know, sometimes constructive criticism does help a game because regardless of how you feel about inZOI, they have worked to make the game better. I still have a lot of criticism about inZOI. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I still have a lot of critiques. And I know for people that are fans of inZOI and you come and watch me, you like when I play it, but when I start critiquing the game, oh baby, y'all don't like that. But hey, again, constructive criticism is what helps these games get better. Games don't improve by you smiling and, you know, giving us a fake smile like everything's okay. It doesn't work like that. Speaking of this game getting better, they recently put out a hotfix, and this is version 0.8.6. And this hotfix was able to address some prominent issues that the community has been having. So for the bug fixes, first, they improved hunger needs, which is good because sometimes the Zoids are either never hungry or overly hungry, and it really just depends on the speed of the day in your game. They also fixed the infinite loading screen issue when you're going in and out of build mode, which thank you, because that was one of the reasons why I took a long break from inZOI, was that I kept getting that bug where I just kept getting the loading screen and I didn't want no parts of it, so I'm glad that was fixed. This patch also fixed an issue where changes to the road traffic density setting and simulation options had no noticeable effect on vehicle count. And it also improved the city vehicle simulation errors. For Mac users, they fixed an issue where furniture and walls could not be properly deleted in build mode under certain steps. And then they also fixed an issue where the lobby would go completely white if you were in certain settings. And of course, they worked through the crashes to help make the game more stable. So, you know, when I was going through my emo phase of wanting to like not do content anymore and just like, I don't need a PC because I have my MacBook and I'm not going to do YouTube anymore anyway. I'm just going to get a laptop. Anyway, when I was going through that phase, I was using ShadowTech because I'm like, well, I'm not going to be doing content anymore by the end of the year, guys. Maybe I'll get a PC. I don't know. But before I stopped using ShadowTech, I had a lot of stability issues. And I see what people were talking about that had newer builds where they're like, I don't know, like I have a really good PC. My specs are my pecs. My pecs. You can't even tell that I have any. But anyway, but my specs are really good. So when I got my new PC, I saw what everyone was talking about because it kept crashing. And it was a worse experience than my old PC that was built on the 2060 Super. I have a 5060 now, and I only have 16 gigabytes of RAM. So when I first got it, I could play the game, but I could not play the game in stream because it was just a nightmare. Like it kept crashing, and inZOI just seemed like it had some memory issues and it was just taking up way too much RAM. So I would say though that recently with a lot of the bug fixes, and especially since I'm not playing The Sims anymore either because I was keeping ShadowTech for The Sims, but I have not played The Sims in like 4 or 6 months. I think the last time I played The Sims was on a stream when we were doing Flavor of Love. I have not played The Sims since. So I let ShadowTech go and I'm like, well, hopefully I can stream inZOI if I'm not going to be doing ShadowTech. And I was surprised to see how optimized the game was on my actual PC and on high settings. And I could easily stream and play inZOI on high settings without having any issues. And if you have not played inZOI in a long time, the issue was like pretty much in the memory. Like it would just hog up so much RAM. And I don't know if it was like I don't know what it is, but I know that for a lot of us that have newer builds, newer PCs, it was just like crash city. But now that I'm just playing on my PC, I've noticed so much improvement. Like you guys saw it in my first stream back. My game was running like butter. So if you have not tried inZOI in quite some time, especially if you do have a newer build, I would say give it just dip your toe in, see what you think, because I took a long break from inZOI because it was just buggy, but with the update now, it is so optimized. I don't know what the team did, but it's been great. And it's good to know that they have these bug fixes, and they even identified the known issues for June. So if you go to the page, I'm not going to go over all of them, but there are some known issues that they'll be working on. So there's the issue where you're not able to purchase items displayed for sale at vendor stalls. Selecting the mannequin in the drama studio displays the mannequin's appearance incorrectly. If you're loading up your game during a scheduled job, the work NPCs may go home right away. Loading a save file with job XP, the job XP may reset. Also, it may take a really long time for the Zois that are in school to go to the next level with school. So they are working to identify, and I will say that from what I've been watching over the past couple of months, a lot of the issues that are under their known issues, I would say in a month or two, they always get corrected as a bug fix. But hear me out. inZOI still needs a lot of work. And I know that the team started out as a small studio under Krafton. And yes, Krafton is their publisher, but how do I say? Just because Krafton was their publisher does not mean that Krafton was willing to allocate a copious amount of money behind this project. So this team started out pretty intimate and it grew a bit after. But I would say that once the team expanded, the game really started to take off for sure. And even with that, there's just some issues with their ability to commit to their fundamentals first, right? Because they told us that this year they were not going to focus too much on adding things, that they really wanted to focus on the fundamentals of the game and work on, you know, some aspects of the game that players feel are a bit devoid of personality and things like that. One of my biggest feedbacks with inZOI is how the Zois are animated. Everybody has the same walk. Everyone does the same idle animations. The autonomy, I noticed how there's been changes with the personality. For example, for my Zois that are bad, they'll go online to post mean comments or whatever. And then for my good nature Zois, they'll go to the websites to like donate money. I think it was in like one of the streams where I realized that the teens were donating money to charity and their mom is a criminal. So I was like, hey, this is rags to riches. Like you can't just autonomously donate money to charity without consulting with mother first. It's not okay. So the autonomy is getting much better, especially as it pertains to individual Zois and their personality. But the issue is the animation. Like sometimes Zois seem not to blink, or Zois just like, I don't know, they're supposed to be sad and their face isn't sad. So like their animations don't always sync with their emotions. Or then you just have some animations that they have in the game that the face isn't expressive. There are some animations where I noticed they quietly started working on the face to mirror the animation, but there's still so many that are a bit lifeless. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an exact animation. I don't know. I know a lot of the newer ones are good. Like when the Zois are kissing on the table, I felt like I needed to like black the screen out. I was like, oh, this is spicy. I don't want everybody seeing my Zoi's business because she's about to get cracked over in two. But you know, even the bathtub animation is good. And a lot of the new work animations are really good as well. I think they just need to backtrack and redo a lot of the older animations. I like that they've been adhering to the community feedback going forward, and that a lot of the newer animations are super expressive, but there's more older animations than the new animations. And then the thing that also just frustrates me with inZOI is, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this might be a hot take, I really don't care to have any new features right now. I would like to see bug fixes. I would like to see animations improve. I would like to see systems in the game expanded. Like, let's expand the family tree. Let's expand the phone system. Let's expand, different skills, cooking, farming. Let's expand, bug fix, and improve things that are already in the game. Let's make sure that, they interact well. Like the whole concept of 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎, right? Great, 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 great. I love the new world. But the whole vacation portion of the game is just a letdown, right? Because why do we have to buy a house to go on vacation and then rent a hotel room? So it's processes like that in inZOI that kind of get under my skin, because it's clear that the team is super talented. They're able to work. And I know that inZOI is a studio that has to answer to Krafton, their publisher. So who knows? Maybe Krafton is telling them no. But I really, if like I could speak to 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎, I would just say it's really important as we get ready for 1.0 to improve on what's already there. Because I feel like if they continue to do that, a lot of people will return and revisit inZOI. They've added so much new content and I have such a good time, but there are just aspects of the game that are immersion breaking to the point where it's just like, why hasn't this been addressed? Why hasn't this been worked on? So I am looking forward to the team committing to their fundamentals first. I know in the Wednesday post, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 pointed out how many players are giving him feedback on they want him to basically stick to the fundamentals first. And I'm really glad that that was acknowledged and that they plan to do that. And like after the high school, if we don't get anything else new until 1.0, I'm so happy with that. But I feel like they've added so much new stuff to this game to where we don't have to worry about new content, right? Like I would rather see things be more cross-compatible, like I want to be able to have a grandparent and the baby have certain interactions with each other. There's so many baby items as well that aren't interactive. Can we make these interactive, right? Like I want that for inZOI. I personally am okay with having everything up through the school, and after they give us the school, leave it at that. There's a lot of content, and once they start adding better processes to already existing things in the game, it's going to feel amazing, cohesive, fun. Not that I'm not having fun, but I don't understand their commitment to new after they told us that they were going to focus on these fundamentals, only to turn around and do the opposite. And that's just my biggest critique with inZOI. Outside of that, I've been having a lot of fun, but there's just certain things with the game that kind of make me scratch my head. But all I can do is continue to give feedback, because I know that at least with inZOI, when I give them feedback, or even when you guys give them feedback, when I'm streaming and we just talk about some things that we suggested, I know for certain that they listen, and I will always give them that. They listen to their community. They may not be able to implement everything, but if someone says, hey, this is what we want to do, they acknowledge it. And they're like, we can't make any promises, but this is what we're going to do moving forward. And I do like that about the team. So we also have the school that's coming out. And if you haven't heard about the school, these ZOIs are going to be able to go to prom, do cheerleading, do football, graduate. There's going to be new skills and new items in Create a ZOI and new items in like build mode, like new, which is again nice. It's nice to have an active high school and base game. But I am so serious when I say, please let this be the last new thing. Unless you are giving me a kitten, a puppy, or something in inZOI, unless it's a pet, I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't even want any new jobs, okay? I can wait for a hospital. If you want to add that as a future update, baby, even if you do that as a DLC, okay? I don't know about you, but my card isn't hurting. It swipes, it works. So even if you want to do that as DLC, sure. But right now, let's focus on what's there. And I am excited for the high school. My ZOI self that we do the Rags to Riches challenge with, she got 50 loving kids, as y'all know. So I'm excited to take Miracle. Well, no, Vision is not in high school. He's an adult. So Miracle, Confession. What's the other baby's name? Miracle, Confession. It starts with an I. Infinity. And then baby, I think we're going to name Michael Jackson's baby either Thriller or Invincible or Bad. So I'm excited for them all to go to high school. But I, at the same time, just wish that there were just, I don't know. So I'm excited for the high school. It looks promising. But 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 also gave us some more news this Friday. So if you're familiar, every Friday, I think most Fridays, I don't think he's missed a Friday in a long time. But every Friday, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 comes to give us an update on the game's development. And last Friday, it was really nice because he was clear about making sure that we could manage our expectations and then giving us updates that we're going to be ready for June. So this Friday, June 5th, which also happens to be Nappa's birthday, my baby dog's birthday. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Nappa. This Friday, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅 put out another video. So let's go ahead and watch it together. And you guys let me know what you think.
Hi, everyone. I want to take today's video to show some of our more visual aspects for the next update. Let's get right into it. I always like showing off our baby updates. Here are the new outfit pieces we created for babies. We finally took some time to improve the facial characteristics of babies in inZOI so that they look more like real babies. I'll get to more animations in a bit, but here's one we made where the baby can enjoy their meal on a high chair from their cute little food tray. For the hair salon, we made it so that getting a haircut doesn't reset your hair color, allowing you to retain your intended style. We've also added unique hairstyles that can only be accessed by using the hair salon. If you want more exclusive styles like this, please let me know in the comments. We also created unique outfit pieces exclusively for the clothing store. Another feature we added was a random outfit button for mannequins so that you can explore different options for less familiar categories more efficiently. This is also translated to situational outfits, where if you have multiple assigned presets for a category, engaging in that situation lets the DROI randomly pick one of the available options. We had my texture icons were too small to browse effectively, so we made them easier to see. We're also working on a sticker creator where you can upload transparent PNG images to convert into stickers you can use to further decorate your ZOI. We changed the foot layout for when you wear stockings so that the shaping looks more natural. Onto animations. We made an alternate treadmill motion so that not every ZOI looks like a professional runner. Some people want to stay a kid forever, so that's why we gave these personalities a childlike behavior set that clearly looks awkward but does imbue that forever young spirit they long to keep. Here's a casual watching a movie with your partner, but are you really watching the movie animation? And maybe an even more casual dance with your partner that you may think needs to be less casual. As always, please give us your feedback on what you would like from these romantic interactions. Lastly, we have a few more screenshots for the highly anticipated school gameplay. I don't think I'm doing myself a favor raising your expectations on this, but anyway. How did you like today's video?
How cute are the baby changes? I'm super excited, and I've been saying for ages that I feel like the babies look a little bit strange, so I'm glad that they made some changes to make them look adorable. And I'm really excited for the hairs. So two of the new hairs that I've seen are two hairs that I've given as like examples and feedback of more black hairstyles. So I don't know for sure if they use my references to make these hairs, but I'm really happy to see them. And I cannot wait for this to be updated. I don't know if this is going to be in the June update or if it's going to be in a future update, but at the end of the day, I cannot wait for the cuter babies and the new hairstyles. I don't even like playing with children like that. You know, my characters have kids. I'm like, go to school, do your work, and be good. Okay, like that's what I want. But like the coming updates and the coming changes, even the other things that they've been hinting to us, like basements and a celebrity system, I'm very excited for inZOI. I understand that this isn't the game for everyone, and this is either you love it or you hate it. For me, I happen to love inZOI. I enjoy it, and I don't participate in life sim stand wars because at the end of the day, they all have their pros, they all have their cons. You know, all of the dev teams, they do good things, they do things that are very questionable in all of them. inZOI, Paralives, Sims 4. And I feel like, I don't know, I can't be fake and just be like, this is my life sim, and I don't know, like I play inZOI. I haven't played The Sims in a while, but I've played it. Will I probably play it in the future? Yeah. Do I play Paralives? Yeah. So I enjoy it. And like I said, I feel like once the team focuses on their fundamentals, and once they allow people to have more mods in their game, I think that they would see, I know for sure, they would see a return of people who tried it in the past, who didn't return the game, who still have the game. I think some of those players will return. But let's go ahead and put our inZOI dolls to the side so that we can pick up our Paralives one. And I'm gonna take a sip. Oh, I'm gonna take a sip of water. My goldfish just fell. I had to make sure I got hydrated before we talk about Paralives. So Paralives came out on May 25th. And honestly, this game is very promising. I've had many critiques about this, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't critique anything. You know, I'm not just going to be complicit and, you know, just smile and nod. No. With Paralives, I commend a team of 15 for taking on such an ambitious project. No matter how you feel about the bugs and the state of live mode, what have you, the fact that 15 people were able to put their noggins together and execute a project of this magnitude, I respect that. Now, I did do a 3-part Paralives review, and then I included the epilogue in the recent members only writers room video. So if you want my final thoughts on Paralives, my raw, unfiltered thoughts, if you're a channel member, it is up. And also, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to the channel members. If you're watching this here on YouTube or if you're listening to it, thank you to the writers room. They are my YouTube channel members, and I really appreciate you guys for keeping this community going. So before we get into some of the my thoughts on Paralives, I do want to address some of the news because they were able to identify some issues. And then on the 29th of May, they did put out their first patch, which is great timing, especially for a team of their size, because it shows that they are committed to making this game better. So there were a lot of bug fixes here for Paralives. And I feel like I've been talking. I can't remember the last time I talked this much in a recording, but this is a podcast. So, you know, it's a nonstop yap and I'm loving it, but I just need to continue to drink my water. But I'm going to read out as many of these as my powerful mind will allow me to. So for the 0.1.2 patch, they improve memory management to reduce crashes. They also improve save systems to reduce the occurrence of corrupted save files. We'll put a pin in that. They also fixed calling firefighters or extinguishing fires. Can now be done more easily without being canceled by paras panicking. Paras now have a chance to autonomously extinguish items on fire instead of always panicking or fleeing. And then stairs can no longer catch on fire because it causes pathfinding issues, so they fixed that. They fixed the bug where flames could spread out of your lot. They also optimized pathfinding code to reduce lag spikes when townie parafolks calculate the path. Okay, so we'll put a pin in that as well. Initial loading screen now up to 20% faster, and the operating system will no longer show app is not responding pop-up when the game is loading to the main menu. They also added curtains on the windows to the train to reduce motion sickness, and they fixed an issue where parafolks could become naked. when randomizing the character in the ParaMaker. Now, how come I never seen that bug? I would love to, I would have loved to experience the naked pairs. I don't know why, but I never got that bug. Anyway, they fixed the bug where lips will become white when trying different mouth presets. They also fixed a bug where items would get duplicated when changing swatches and the copy could not be deleted. And they also fixed various missing English localized strings. And they fixed the bug where parafolks were leveling their personality extremely fast. They also fixed any issues with the relationship editing panel in the train that stopped people from being able to finish the train ride. Also, parafolks will no longer become embarrassed when sleeping or using the toilet outside. I had to take a sip of water on that because I thought it was just me that thought that that was a bit strange, but yeah, your para won't get upset if they have to use the bathroom at Marshall's anymore, I guess. Parafolks will no longer refuse to purchase a snack from a vending machine when too hungry, and parafolks will no longer refuse to sleep in long chairs when too tired. And they fixed the bug where parafolks will continue using the telescope even after astronomy club town events have ended and the telescopes have disappeared. A lot of bug fixes here, and I am actually in awe that they fixed that many bugs. Again, they do have a pretty small team, a team of 15, and I would even go as far as saying I don't think that everyone of the 15 team members, not all 15 of them work on like the coding and like, you know, things like that. They have some people that do the music, and they have people that are, you know, part of their social media team. So not all 15 people are working on the game. On June 3rd, they put out a list of known issues. And again, keep in mind, they received over 150,000 bug reports since they launched the game. And a lot of those are tied to corrupted save files, crashes, people being unable to start a new game or load a game. You can't play with more than 50 mods. Naked paras popping up after you give birth and you try to exit out. Eating issues, babies teleporting into the ocean, paras getting stuck in chairs, food disappearing. Moving walls can break buildings and disappearing floors. These are their known issues that they're working on. And again, if you're a channel member and if you got to see my recent video that I put up on Thursday, you would have gotten a lot of my raw, unfiltered thoughts on Paralives. And I just put up my epilogue to wrap up how I feel about the game. And I will say that, again, I told you guys, I don't participate in Stand Wars. I'm not loyal to any game. I've been following Paralives on and off since I would say maybe about 8 months after they started working on it. And I want this game to do great. I believe that Paralives has a bright future. And I have over 31 hours of gameplay. I think at this point I might have 35. I think I have over 35 hours of gameplay. So with that being said, as much as I enjoy it, as much as I'm proud to have another life simulation game, a more dollhouse-like life simulation game to play, I would be doing the team a disservice if I ignored some of the issues. And like I said, I did touch on this in a more raw way, but I don't know. And I feel like I'm on my own island with this, but a lot of the bugs that they have been experiencing are bugs that were easily identifiable for live mode. A lot of their bugs are centered around live mode. And a part of me wonders, I don't have any proof, right? I'm not a Patreon supporter. I don't know what everybody got to see behind the scenes. I don't know what they got to test. I don't know if people signed NDAs. I don't know. But the concept of not utilizing the thousands of Patreon supporters to do an alpha test or a closed beta test before early access, because quiet as it's kept, I'm a true gamer. Since I've entered, my late 20s, early 30s, I don't game as heavy as I used to. But if you've known me for years on the internet, especially my teens and my earlier 20s, you would know how Dingeon. I was about gaming, okay? So I have played plenty of early access games. I have played plenty of alphas, open betas, closed betas. I've played open betas, closed betas for cozy games, MMOs, MMORPGs, even shooting games. I've done the things. And with this genre of game, right? Like we have The Sims, we have inZOI. I feel like everybody forgets about virtual families, but like, let's lift my sister up. Virtual families is a life simulation game, okay? But you know, with these specific life simulation games, I think it's very easy to, I'm finding it. I think it's very easy to create a parallel universe in the gaming world where other things that we know to be true don't exist because these are life simulation games. And I might be losing some of you, and that's okay. But with Paralives, right? Where was the alpha test? Like, I know this is an indie company, but again, being an indie company doesn't absolve them from the situation, right? So what was the alpha test like? I know they said they had people that tested the game and let them know that live mode wasn't up to par. But after that happened, right? Who alpha tested the game? Who did the closed beta? How many people? What was the volume of people like? In the span of 7 years, like about 7 years. How did that play out? Because a lot of the bugs that people are experiencing in live mode, live mode, what have you, are easily identifiable. In fact, a lot of them happen within the first 15 minutes that you're playing the game. Early access isn't the first step. Like, and I think that's what a lot of people who, no shade, but a lot of people that only ever played The Sims, a lot of people aren't able to understand this concept. Early access is not the first step. You have your alpha testing, you have your closed beta testing, and then depending on the game, I know a lot of like MMO games and cozy games like to do closed betas, or I'm not sorry, closed, but open betas where people can openly test the beta, but they'll do a period of open beta where people can sign up during a time frame to elect to test the game for the devs, especially for indie. Like, this is a very common practice for indie games because they don't have the capacity to hire a bunch of quality assurance people. Like, they don't have the capacity for that. So they rely on their alpha testers, their open, but like that's what they do. So with that being said, it like genuinely, objectively, like just looking at this as someone who even isn't a gamer, I just wonder what the testing process was like. And you can't sit here and say that, well, they couldn't have done that. They could have made a large sample size of people from their Patreon supporters, even if they pulled their highest tier. People that were paying them maybe, I don't know, $100 a month or something like that. I don't know what the tiers were. I didn't pay for it. But they could have had a large, like a very vast sample size of people to test the game. And to me, as a consumer, I bought this game with my own money. For me, hot take here, but it is very obvious that there wasn't a lot of playtesting for Paralives. Like there should have been a precursor to the early access, and they had the means to do so. They had tons of supporters. Could have hired somebody from their legal team or hired a legal team to draft out NDAs so that people could have tested this and kept it quiet. I don't understand this aspect of Paralives. That you can't sit there and say they did not have the resources to get people to test the game. They did. If you were a Patreon supporter and they emailed you to say, hi, would you like to do a closed beta for Paralives? Would you have done it? Yes or no? Like, how quickly would you have signed up for a Patreon only supporter playtest? How quickly would you have done that? Be for real. So again, I want this game to be great, but it's just kind of alarming that there clearly wasn't much testing going on prior to the early access, because I think that if they would have maybe instead of launching the game on the 25th, if they would have launched a closed beta just for their supporters, that would have had a better impact, and that would have led to a better first introduction to the public that would have been buying into the early access. And if you wanted to try the closed beta, perhaps you could have signed up as a Patreon supporter by a certain date. And if you didn't, well, you don't get access to the closed beta. If they wanted to keep that elusiveness, like that level of exclusivity, they could have done that. But again, and this is just me assuming, I know it's not always best to assume, but I can only assume that, I don't know, maybe like family and friends were testing this game, because it doesn't give thoroughly tested. And just because it's an indie game does not mean that your game does not need to be tested, right? So I would say for Paramaker feels very good. It feels like something that's early access quality. So does build mode. I like Pam, I like build mode. But when it comes to live mode, I don't want to hear that it's early access. I don't want to hear that they're a small indie team. I don't want to hear this, that, whatever. When it comes to live mode, this does not feel early access quality. This feels like, it feels like an alpha. Like live mode feels like an alpha experience. And the hallmark of being able to have a productive early access period is having the game be playable. And another thing that kind of concerns me is the fact that there's corruption very early. And again, yes, it's early access, but early access doesn't mean unplayable. Like that's not an excuse for that. But what I will say though, is that it is my hope that the team continues to keep the momentum that they have been having to do these bug fixes. And I think it's very commendable that they took the time to do bug fixes, because they had like 100,000 bug reports, right? The fact that they were able to come up with a patch within that time frame as a small team, because again, they have a team of 15, but not everybody on that team may be a game developer. So kudos to them for being able to do that. Now, what I will say with Paralives, as someone who's played for over 30 hours and I've tried many different play styles, I was doing stuff I don't even do in life simulation games. Okay, girl, I was building. I built a house. I was an elder. You know, I was seeing what life was like as a senior citizen. I tried a family. I tested out being promiscuous. I tried doing collection. Like, I tried many different play styles. So when I give this feedback, it's not from someone who just played the game for like 2 hours and came to a determination. I have almost like a whole work week, like almost 40 hours worth of gameplay, baby. I was clocked into Paralives. The reason why I've been so reluctant to like give my raw, unfiltered feedback with Paralives is because the community is a major red flag. The community is concerning, and the way that the toxic positivity has moved from one game to another, it's very off-putting, and it makes you not want to engage. Like, it makes you not want to do it. And, you know, oftentimes you really do have to like tune out and just enjoy what you enjoy. But at the same time, when it comes to these life simulation games, we're always inclined to share our photos, our experiences, because we might not have, you know, these are very niche games. We don't have always people, you know, our friends or family who might be interested in these things. So we do look to the community to talk about this thing that interests us, these life simulation games. And the Paralives community is off-putting, disgusting behavior. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. You guys are like internet bullies at like your big 30s and 40s. What are you doing? Like online? Like, I've seen people attack others in Steam reviews. Like, how unemployed are you that you have the time to stalk Steam reviews? You know what you should be stalking? A job. You know what you should be stalking? Indeed.com, not Steam reviews. Like, it's just very parasocial, pun intended, behavior. And a way that's very negative. And I wish people understood how this behavior is not helpful to the devs, because it's, feedback is a necessity. They need this feedback. They need to know how consumers feel about playing these games. Like, it's important that they hear how we feel. And for people to just, I've seen it to where people are making posts or making reviews where they're saying, I played this game for 2 hours or so, and they're getting it tagged. And it's like, of course, people can only play for so long, because if they don't like the game, they can only play it for like 2 hours before they have to return it. Early access just may not be for you at all, because I can sit here and give my critiques on Paralives, but again, in the same breath, say, I like this about the game. Like, I enjoy Pam. I actually like the concept of the together cards. I do feel like they need more work, but I enjoy them. I understand that there's people that don't like them, but it's fun once you get past some of the bugs, and if you don't have kids, there is a lot of fun. But I feel like some people take the constructive criticism for negativity, and that's not the case. Like, a lot of the things that I've been saying about Paralives are valid critiques, and the community is just very alarming. Like, it's very unsettling to see how quickly a group of people can assemble to be toxic with a smile on their face. It's kind of bizarre to me. But like I said, with Paralives, I really want this game to do well. I feel like it will be great. I love that there's so many mods so far, and we'll put a pin in the mods, because mods is a hot topic that we're going to go over this week. But I'm just really happy that it's finally here. It's real. But I will say, I feel the same way about Paralives, the way I felt about inZOI. This needed more time to cook before it was released as an early access product, because no matter which way you try to spin it, early access is still a product, and there's a difference. And if you're unfamiliar with this, Google before you debate me. Do your research, because I don't like to argue, but I do love a good debate. So there's levels to this in gaming. You have your alpha, you have your closed beta, your open beta, and some games go through multiple alpha and beta phases before they get to an early access level. And with both inZOI and Paralives, it's clear that, alpha and beta meant nothing to them. Like, they were just like, bitch, I'm the omega. I am everything. I'm putting this out as is. And I don't like that for life simulation games, because this is such a niche drama. And I remember when I said that about inZOI and how combative people were being, but I was very firm that inZOI needed a solid 6 more months before they released it. And not to toot my own horn, but I think I was right, because when they started dropping in like August and October, the game was so much better. And imagine if that was people's first impression, right? So imagine if Paralives instead did a closed beta, let all of their 5011 supporters play the game, and then presented us a game with the bug fixes and everything. That would have been a better first impression. But now, and it's kind of disappoints me as somebody who is a Paralives fan and who was really excited for it. Imagine if people would have got to play the version of Paralives that was tested. They don't want me to give y'all Paralives feedback. I'm coughing. Oh goodness. So yeah. But that's all I say with Paralives. I'm very excited and hopeful for the future. And I can see this being a game that I keep in rotation. But we are going to put down our Paralives dolls for a moment, because we will revisit them for the hot topic of the week. And we are going to pick up our comfy, cozy plushies, which, by the way, the key to my heart is through plushies. I used to have a big stuffed animal collection when I was a kid, thanks to my mom. Like, my mom kept me with all of the stuffed animals. I had tons. You couldn't even see my bed because I had so many stuffies, and I remember getting rid of them only because I was like, well, I'm going to college now. I have to get ready to be an adult. I'm a senior in high school. So I slowly started to get rid of my stuffed animals. And I think I remember us donating some of them and then giving some away to some of like my younger cousins, I believe. But now that I'm grown with my adult money, every time I see stuffies, I'm like, what a little stuffed animal. Like on my microphone, you guys never see me on camera for some reason. But on my microphone, I have a Hello Kitty stuffy, my first ever throne gift that I got from an old friend. She's so cutie pie. And then I have the inZOI Paul stuffy as well that I received from them. And I have a couple of Hello Kitty miniature stuffed animals. But when I start working on my new stream area, like actually decorating a stream area, I want to fill it with stuffed animals. So I said that to say, first and foremost, let's go over Loftia, which if they have Loftia stuffed animals available, I want all of them. I want all of the Loftia stuffed animals. But if you are unfamiliar with Loftia, Loftia is a very unique up and coming cozy game that has a lot of life simulation aspects, and it's also an MMO game where you can play with your friends. And we got to test Loftia here on the channel, and oh my goodness, it was so much fun. I am waiting for the day that Loftia is out, and now that my schedule is a bit different, like I just want to play it, and when it's available on Switch, I just want to play it nonstop. It was such a good time. But Loftia recently was able to participate in women-led games. It happened on Thursday, June 4th at 4 p.m. And I got to sit in the Discord for a bit to watch it with the Loftia community, and they released a new trailer. And it seems like they are really focusing on tying a lot of, loose ends with the game. And the gameplay just looked very crisp, like the graphics looked really good. And I think I even noticed some new items, like clothing or hair items, or maybe they were just things that I missed when I originally played. But I'm really excited for Loftia, and I recommend everybody wishlist it on Steam, because if you are looking for your go-to cozy game where there's lots to do and you can play with friends. Also, if you got to see my video that I posted about the hair, they have tons of black hair in this game, which is kind of unheard of in this genre. So if you're looking for a multiplayer life simulation game that's cozy, where you can build, farm, have your home, and enjoy all of this with friends, be sure to wishlist Loftia on Steam. You are going to regret missing out on this game. I had tons of fun, and shout out to everybody that won a key for me as well back when we tested it last month. Moving on to another game in our cozy corner, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. So Tomodachi Life is getting ready for summertime. So if you haven't picked up your Miis and checked on them in some time, they recently added new seasonal items. So this is the first season that we're going to experience together. There's going to be new plants. They have a cactus and different things that you can put on your island. And they've also been working on bug fixes as well over the weeks. My thing with Tomodachi Life is I hope they don't do what Animal Crossing did and just, forget about adding new content. So with Tomodachi Life, I recently beat it, right? Like I went to space, I took Beyonce. If you're unfamiliar with my island is Fantopia. So we have some of our favorite artists and actors, actresses, characters from animes and cartoons and books. So they're all on the island, as well as all of the channel members. We even have Quan Mills and Black Jesus on the island, guys. Fantopia is a place to be. But I recently took Beyonce to space, and I realized that was the credits, and I pretty much done everything in Tomodachi Life. So I'm really hoping that they give us more content, at least more wishes and different things to do. And I haven't even had a baby yet though. So I'm hoping that down the line, maybe some of my Miis have kids. Right now I have 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 𝒯𝒾𝓂𝓏𝑜𝓃𝑒 that's married to Pearl from the movie Pearl. My Mii self is in love with Tyler the Creator. But Jill Scott is also in love with Tyler, the creator, on my island. Ichi has a crush on Tyler Perry. And then Tokyo Tony is obsessed with Doja Cat. She loves her. So I'm hoping that one of these couples, like I'm hoping that somebody produces a baby me, because I haven't had that yet. But I would recommend checking out some of the new summer content, the seasonal items. It's not a lot, but it's something new, right? Because I feel like with Nintendo games, it's like there's such a big gameplay loop and they get us so invested in the gameplay loop that one day you look up and you're like, wait, where's more content? Like, give me new. But we will leave the cozy corner for today. Again, make sure you wishlist Loftia on Steam, and don't forget to check out the new Tomodachi Life content. For now, let's go ahead and jump into the hot topics, okay? I don't know if somebody is trying to put a curse on me. I don't know if somebody really did put some type of black magic on me, but baby, I am feeling like defeated. I was watching Twitch not too long ago. I was watching some no pixel roleplay. I went to make something to eat, and then I'm like, oh, let me finish recording the podcast because I had to re-record it. Note to self, I cannot record this after work because I kind of sound like how I sound when I would do my Let's Plays where I'm kind of whispering into the mic. So I said, oh, no. We are going to record this again, and we are going to put this episode out on Friday, Nappa's birthday. But I feel like somebody does not want me to be great today. So we are going to, everybody, if you're listening on YouTube or SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever I'm able to syndicate this podcast, please keep me in good thoughts, because baby, I feel like I feel something. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I feel something, and it's all concentrated in my head. But I didn't even end up making food. I went to the drive-thru anyway, so maybe somebody in the drive-thru was just playing on my head top, but we'll get through. So, hot topics. You know what it is? It could be the Paralives community. They might not want me to go over this, but this week for the hot topics, we'll just keep it to Paralives, right? Because there's so much to talk about. But like I told you guys in one of my videos, I kind of don't want to come off as like being overtly negative. And I feel like a lot of people confuse constructive criticism with negativity, which they're not the same. You can critique something and still hope for the best. But you know, some people don't believe in duality, but I do. I see both sides. I'm a centrist. So I read through the AMA. If you're not familiar, Paralives had an AMA. And in this AMA, I'm finding it. In this AMA, there were so many questions that people did ask. I don't want to go over all of them because a lot of them were just centered around, like, first and foremost, it was really nice for the team to like respond to certain questions about, like, you know, how they felt, how long they've been working on the game, how it felt to execute the game. So it was really nice to see those comments. The team has a very unique way of connecting with their audience so that, you know, you feel like you're there with them along the journey. But at the same time, there were a lot of questions where people were hoping for certain features or things like that. And a lot of the response from the team was, oh, that's nice, but no, we don't plan on doing that. Or, you know, just, you know, we don't have that in mind. They did confirm that there might be some things that they have that they're putting into motion, different features. But that AMA left me wondering, like, what feedback looks like for Paralives. I know what it looks like for The Sims 4. They have the forum. I know what it looks like for inZOI. They have Discord and they have their own forum as well. And then I'm able to, you know, use different forms of communication as well myself for feedback. But it made me wonder for Paralives, like let's go into the Discord. If you are looking at a visual version of the podcast, which I don't really know how I can do this going forward. Maybe if we get this video to 100 likes, maybe the next podcast episode I will do on camera, because I am looking at the episode length. I've been talking for 1 hour and 34 minutes. So we might just have to get on camera and because baby, I gotta find 1 hour and 34 minutes of visuals. So in the future Ivory speaking here, if you see minimal visuals and you just see the Dollhouse Diary logo on the screen, just know time, as you know, has not been on my side. And I didn't think about that when I was like, oh, let's do a podcast. I didn't think about the visuals because, you know, podcasts are like 1 to 2 hours long. Didn't think that far. But yeah, if you just see the logo in certain spots, maybe that's why. But moving on. So looking at the Paralives Discord here, I see where they have their announcements. It looks like they put out a new category, okay, for modding. I see where they have support tickets, issues, paramaker, modding, off-topic conversations. I'm not seeing where we can give feedback, question. And I wanted to make sure that I was following all the channels. So yeah, I'm wondering what feedback from the community looks like with Paralives, because one thing that I noticed with this AMA is that it seemed as if the team, and at one point, you know, at one part of this, I like that they're not being yes men. They're not saying yes, 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 because I feel like inZOI has that issue where they try to say yes to everything and they try to implement like a hodgepodge of features where sometimes there's like a disconnect. So while I admire that the Paralives team isn't so willing to be very agreeable with their community, another part of me is just like, okay, so what, how can we give feedback as consumers, as fans, you know, as players? What does the feedback look like? And if you are more invested in Paralives and you're more immersed than I am, you know, school's been changing my life a bit here. But if you are aware, please let me know how we can provide feedback now that the game is out, outside of the bug report. So if I look at the bug report, actually, let me see. Oh, okay, I stand corrected. That's why I like the podcast format, because look at me correcting myself. So if you're in game, the same way you would go to submit a bug, they have the game feedback form where you can report a bug, your crashes, localization feedback, suggestions, and just the general comment. So now that I know this, oh, Paralives team, y'all about to hate to see me coming because I have suggestions. But at the same time, I'm wondering though, like, how receptive the team is to feedback, because right now the consensus seems to be no. Like, it seems to be heavy on the word, well, no, thanks for the feedback, but no. But again, I get it. I don't expect for them to be willing to add a feature just based off an AMA or like a Reddit comment. But at the same time, a lot of the community members have some amazing suggestions that could make Paralives even better. I don't know, it's not giving we're receptive to feedback or we're receptive to implementing change. And I've come to this determination mostly based on the feedback for the Together cards. So unless you've been living under a rock, the Together cards are very polarizing. Some people love them, some people hate them. I both hate and love them at the same time. And I know you're thinking, this girl is just always putting herself in the middle. But you know, I'm always going to look at the devil's advocate here. I see how the Together cards come together for a unique gameplay experience, right? So it gives you something to play towards. It gives you some storyline to work on. And your friendships may not be instant. Your relationships won't be instant. And my Paralives feedback, I told you guys it took my para almost 20 days to get cracked. Like, her para 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 was ready, but because of the game mechanics, she could not romance anybody for about 40 days or 40 nights, okay? But I feel like the Together cards cater to a very specific play style. And I'm wondering if Paralives is just trying to fill that niche. Maybe they're not trying to be a very universal life sim game. They may not want to be playable for everybody. So maybe they want to cater to the more slow burn play style, which I don't mind that, especially since, for me, since I like to I like to multitask throughout the day with other activities. So I do like games that are a bit more slow burn that I could just check on every once in a while. But when I find myself trying to play Paralives outside of that, I find myself yearning for more, which is where I don't agree with the together cards, because sometimes I do like fast-paced gameplay. I do like the whimsy, I do like the silly goofy, I do like the chaos, but Paralives really isn't the type of life simulation game for that. So I see where the together cards are beneficial for me when I need that type of play style, but there's not a lot of flexibility in the together cards. So I am confused as to why there's so much pushback, because it's not like it's a couple of people, there are several players. So many players have let them know that while they like the together cards, there should be room for improvement or for more autonomy, or there are just people that genuinely aren't here for the together cards and they give an explanation as to why. My concern, I wouldn't even call it a concern, my confusion with this is that if you're a consumer, the people that are supporting you, if we're telling you that, hey, this isn't working, and it'd be different if it was like a handful of people. And I don't have any statistics on this. I'm not, I don't have the statistics on this, but I'm just going to make a good old educated guess based on internet jargon and info that I see. I don't have hard numbers on this. I'm just going to make an estimate using internet statistics, which are numbers that I think are real. So I would say maybe about like 2/3 of the player base aren't truly happy with the together cards. And I would say a part of that are people who are okay with it, but wish that there was other options. And then you have the other people who just hate the together cards. And then you have, other people who love it. So I don't know about you, but 2/3, 2 slices of pie is bigger than 1 slice of pie. So when I see them standing 10 toes down on these together cards and are like, okay, like we see that you guys don't like the together cards, but we like it. And it's like, I get it. This is the game that they made. This is their baby, right? Like, who are we to pull them away from their vision and expect them to not keep the integrity of the game? However, when you have a large group of people, and at this point, again, Paralives is a product, okay? Like, this isn't just, it isn't just like, something that their Patreon supporters tested for them. People have paid their coin, and early access is still a product. It's still something that you can purchase and refund. So we're still the consumers, and part of early access is not only testing bugs, but letting the devs know what's working and what's not working. So for me, I'm just kind of confused as to why one of the biggest reasons for early access, and that's community feedback, I'm just confused as to why they are very, I don't know, they just seem very opposed to the feedback on the together cards. And like I said, I do like them, but I don't always like them. And to me, it's just like, if your community is telling you, hey, I see the vision, baby, but it's not working. And then there's a bigger part of your community that doesn't like it compared to the people that are here for it no matter what. That's letting you know that that's a room for improvement. And if you're listening out there, whatever medium, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, I don't know if I could get this on Apple Podcasts in time, but if you are out there listening, let me know if I'm tripping, okay? But like, if the goal for early access is to use the feedback to improve the game, and people are telling you that this part of the game kind of sucks low-key sometimes, wouldn't that tell you that that's something about the game that you should improve? So while I'm happy, again, with a lot of things in the AMA, and it was really refreshing to learn some things and their thought process behind some things, when it came to the together cards and like how they were just like, oh, okay, thanks for the feedback. No, thank you. We don't want to do that. It just really like, I just sat up as I was reading it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Good to know. And then another thing in the AMA that kind of just made me go, okay. Oh, somebody really is coming for me because I lost my train of thought, and I'm probably gonna have to edit that out. But I was just staring off into space for like a solid 20 minutes. But another thing that kind of has me going, okay, is dang, I just had it. I just had it, and you know what I'm gonna have to do? I was talking about this with an old role play friend of mine. Shout out to them. Multitasking. Oh, okay, multitasking. So with Paralives, if you got to see my gameplay video of Paralives, it is kind of, I'm finding it. It's kind of unique how paras cannot sit down and talk, or sit down and read, or sit down and watch TV, right? And when I'm thinking of multitasking, I'm not thinking about like how the Sims 4 and EA does it, where like inZOI, what was it that gagged me? They were eating and changing a diaper. I'm like, okay, some multitasking is unnecessary, inZOI, okay? But for Paralives, when people are saying, hey, I want to be able to sit on the sofa and have a conversation, or sit and watch TV, or I want to be able to read my book on the patio, not read my book next to the doorway. I think when it comes to that type of multitasking, when the team confirmed that they don't really have any plans to add multitasking, it left me, baby, I was in a kerfuffle, because I was like, what do you mean? You don't plan on, like, huh? What that mean? Can we elaborate on that? Because it's disorienting, right? To like try to get your para to sit and watch TV, or like sit and talk. And it took me a while to realize what was going on, because I was trying to get them to watch TV, and I'm like, okay, let's watch TV. And I realized, oh, they're not watching the TV. They're not sitting and talking. That's just the together card. So yeah, I don't know, and I can only again assume, and I don't really like to assume, but I don't be knowing everything. My mind is powerful, but it's not ominous, you know, omniscient, something like that. But it is just very confusing as to why multitasking won't be a thing. Like, it's not like I'm expecting my parents to be able to like bake cookies while she's getting cracked in the bed. I'm not expecting that whatsoever. But there are just certain parts of the game that require multitasking or multifunctions. Somebody is really coming for me. You know what it was, guys? I had to pop 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 in the middle of recording. My head feels better, but I feel like it's me that's coming for me. Pause. There is no rose toy involved in the recording of this podcast, but I feel like maybe it's just Mother Nature, and my hormones are not allowing me to be great. So I feel like maybe that's it. And that's probably why I decided to go to the drive-thru instead of cook for myself, because I think that's just a PMS migraine and PMS stomach issues that I was having. But anyway, I actually want to pull up the AMA. Let's review together. Here's an example, right? Where they're asking about a visual roadmap, and they're just like, yeah, visual roadmap is not something we have planned right now, but it's definitely work to do on the relationship. So it's just like, it would be nice to have something that we could visualize with their goals, like something that we could look to know what to anticipate with Paralives. I know that they have some things that they said will happen if you look at their Notion board, but it's like, okay, what does the timeline look like? And I get why they wouldn't put out a timeline, because what if you're not able to meet these deadlines? We've seen that with The Sims 4. We've seen that with inZOI. What happens if you're not able to adhere to this? What happens, you know? So I get not having a visual timeline. So right here, someone asked, hello, lovelies, been following you since You started posting on YouTube. My main ask will be, are you working on a multitasking system, being able to eat while watching TV, sat down, etc.? And Paralives responded with, hi, thank you for your support. It's not planned for now since it's quite challenging technically, but we are keeping it as a potential option for a future update, which is a nice way again of saying no. So just knowing that they don't have any plans for like multitasking is another thing that stuck out to me. And also here, we have another example here because I'm starting to realize that it's not planned is Paralives their way of saying no. So someone said, will we eventually get non-wormhole schools and work? And someone said, it's not planned for now, but the idea is really interesting. But one thing I want to wrap up the AMA up with is that they want to stay small. What I will say here, now that I've had time to digress and that I had time to vocalize those thoughts, what I will say here is that knowing that Alex only spent 6 months working on this solo, and that for the most part of almost 7 years, he's had a team. And within the span of 7 years, they did amazing with Pam. They did amazing with build mode. Those do have some kinks that will need to be worked out through early access, but that's what early access is for. But knowing that live mode is the most rudimentary, underdeveloped portion of the game, and a life simulation game, where the hallmark of a life simulation game is having the simulation running around life, I don't have a lot of positivity like here. Everything that I have to, it's not negative, but everything I have to say here is constructive, right? Because there's no way that we should anticipate for live mode to be ready for 1.0. If you want to debate on me with it, I don't mind debating because I feel firmly in this. There's no way that after 7 years that the live mode isn't, I wouldn't consider the live mode portion an early access experience. It's more alpha. So in 2 years, you mean to tell me that they're going to be able to sort through 150,000 bug reports? And remember, everything that the team does is by hand. They're not using any automation to develop this game. So I don't see them using AI or automation to sort through their bug reports. So you mean to tell me that this team of humans, keep in mind, not all of the humans that are working on this game are game developers. If they are, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong, that's okay. But you mean to tell me that they're going to have the time in 2 years to sort through 150,000 bug reports, fix all of those bugs for Paramaker, fix all of those bugs for build mode? Because I would say out of the two, build mode has more bugs than Paramaker, but live mode, baby, she has roaches, okay? And you mean to tell me that they're going to be able to fix all those bugs? Then once that's done, build on live mode and then fix the bugs that come along with that and add new features to make live mode feel alive within 2 years. After 7 years, this is what they've shown us for live. Like, there's no way. Like, a part of me wants to say yes, because 2/3 of the game is pretty much done. Paramaker's done, build mode's done. But the fact that the team wants to remain small, you know, like they made bank. I'm not a pocket watcher, but because they've made millions, plural, millions that they can allocate among each other to sustain themselves for years to come. None of these people have to work again. Well, outside of working on Paralives. We want them to work on Paralives. But like, none of these folks on the dev team will ever have to worry about doing a 9-to-5 in Canada for a very long time, okay? So they have the capacity to expand their team. I'm not saying that the team needs to be as big as like the inZOI team or as big as the Sims 4 team, And I know that they don't want to be large, but y'all could at least be medium. Like, damn, this game, let's just be honest here. This is a very ambitious project, right? So in a span of 7 years, respectfully, if you guys, as the established team that you have, and I know that not every team member has been on since the earlier years, but if this is what we were able to do in 7 years, how you gonna get this done in 2 years? You don't have to necessarily be a team of 100 or a team of like 50, but maybe 30. How does 30, like, what if we just doubled the team, right? And I get it, the need to want to be small, that way they don't lose the integrity of their vision or have to worry about any leaks. Because one thing about the Paralives team, they like to be very mysterious, they like to be elusive with their information. I don't even think a lot of their Patreon supporters knew what to expect before the game came out either. So they are a very reserved team. I get it, right? So maybe they want to keep everything tight-knit. But at the same time, I don't see how 1.0 is going to be feasible with their goal of 2 years, considering the vast amount of bugs that they have to correct in this game before they even consider working on live mode. And who knows, like, there might be a version of live mode, live mode that's a bit more progressive than what we have now. But again, that's just me adding conjecture. I don't know for sure. So I am, as someone who wants this game to be great, I'm very concerned that they want to remain small, because this project is clearly more demanding than they may have capacity for with the 15 of them. So I would say maybe like 20 to 30 people somewhere might be the sweet spot where they possibly could get this game going. And, you know, I get it, right? They made millions. They probably want to keep that wealth, you know, very concentrated to the people that's been working on it. But at the same time, I feel like in order for Paralives to be successful and for them to reach their goals in a certain time frame, I don't see how they're going to do that as a small team, because it's very clear that, and I'm finding it. Actually, no, fuck it. It's very clear that from what they've been working on, I know that all of the devs are talented, but it's obvious that there are some shortcomings and probably some insecurities about the live mode portion, the most important part of the game, right? Like, they clearly are super talented when it comes to creating assets, character creation, build mode tools. That team is so knowledgeable in that aspect. But looking at this game completely unbiased, I try not to look at Paralives as a fan or a hater. I just try to look at this very unbiased. It's very clear that there might be some insecurities in the development portion of live mode. We know this because they've been very apprehensive on showing it, and a lot of the things that they have shown have been pre-recorded or very, very embellished, with the editing and things like that. So it's obvious at this point that there's some insecurity with the development of live mode. And I say that from a place of love. I do hope that they reconsider not being big, but at least being medium. It is very clear that more people are needed to execute this project in a way that is conducive to productivity, because I'm not seeing that productivity in live mode. And I get it. I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's early access. When I see people defend this and have, excuses for the state of the game with, well, it's early access and they're an indie team and they're small. I know that my experience as an alpha, beta, and early access game tester is not yours, baby. You're swimming in lakes. I've dove in the ocean of early access, okay? So I know that we just have two completely different ideas of what early access is supposed to be like, and that's okay. I I'll leave the AMA at that because I feel like I'm just about to start ruminating on the same things over and over again. So let's move on to the last hot topic for the week, which is another Paralives one. And this is the mod community. So again, if you, like me, have been clocked into your job, you might have missed some things, and that's why we have Doll House Diaries, so I could give you the tea. Actually, I lied. This isn't the last hot topic. This is the second to last hot topic. So unless you just been living under a rock or something, girl, you must have missed the whole conversation about mods and people charging for mods. And I'm going to be very concise and unapologetic and direct in this because sometimes y'all don't need constructive criticism. Sometimes you guys don't need unbiased feedback. Sometimes you need somebody to talk to you like your mama do. And I feel like a lot of people just don't get that. So let's dive into that here. So 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 is a very experienced modder that has been making mods for The Sims 4 for eons. And they released a Sims 3 camera mod for Paralives because the Paralives camera is notoriously horrible. The issue with this is that 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 released this under a paywall as an early access mod. Now, here's the thing, right? I'm going to be a centrist again. I know. But here's the thing. Here's how I feel about this. 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎, right? I understand that they are let's call them a professional modder, right? Like some people create mods as a hobby. Some people are professional programmers or they've been learning how to code and program for years. And they are very, very skilled at what they do. 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 happens to be one of them. However, the issue with this is that they are very aware that Paralives is not only new, it just came out, but the game is in a state of bugginess. If people are already having issues playing the game without any mods by itself, I mean, we have corruption in an early access game, like even without mods, like there's corruption this early on, like the games are crashing. So the goal of you to charge people for a mod for a game that is just unstable is greedy. This is just pure greed. But when it comes to people that do this for full time, if you're doing early access, I believe in 15 days early access. I think anything beyond that is greedy. But if you're doing that and this is your full-time gig and you're doing this at a level of professionalism, I don't see the issue in that because if people wanted to get free mods, they'll get free mods, right? And if people wanted to pay for your mods, they would pay for them. If people wanted to steal your mod, they're going to steal it. Like at the end of the day, people going to do what they want to do. So someone purchasing early access for a mod, someone engaging in this business model to support a creator, I don't understand why that makes people have tantrums and have meltdowns. I saw a post, and I'm so glad that I screenshotted this. I saw a post on Reddit where someone was trying to organize a witch hunt for people that plan to early access their mods for Paralives. Like, what are you doing? Let's go find a job. Let's go check into Talkspace. You should not be this tapped in to the community to the point where you're trying to organize virtual witch hunts for people, because I don't know what it's rooted in. Me, like I said, my car swipes. It really don't decline like that. So it used to. It used to decline. I'm not ashamed about that. My car used to decline, but these days at my big age, it don't decline. So I understand that, for me, I'm going to spend money on what I want to spend it on. I'm grown. If I want to support someone by pledging $2 a month to get early access to Pixel clothes, that's what the fuck I want to do with my money. I'd rather do that than go to a drive-through because I don't need to be at nobody's drive-through anymore. But that's my money. That's what I want to do with it. I want to support that artist, right? And no matter how you feel about it, 3D art is art, right? Like modding, everything like that, it's an art form. So people like a lot of The people like to say a lot about supporting artists, and then when people want money for their creations, it's a problem. Like when it comes to people pledging to support artists through Patreon or what have you, nobody wants to support the artist because you want shit for free. What about the community? What about my bills? Do you know how much hours it takes to create a 3D project? I used to create stuff for Second Life, and I used to make my own stuff for Sims 4, and I tried making stuff for inZOI. Do you know how many hours goes into making just a simple fucking t-shirt? If you are doing all of the meshing, texturing, everything by yourself, weight painting, do you know how time consuming that is? So everybody wants mods, everybody wants custom content, Nobody wants to support the artist. So I personally don't take issue with people pledging to support someone. If I can get your mods 2 days earlier, I don't see how people can want to support artists, but at the same time say, no, just give me your stuff for free. Because we play the same game, I should be able to get your stuff for free. Why is that? Like, and I really want, if you have very strong feelings opposite to mine, I really want you to ask yourself, why are you so opposed to people being supported for their art? You know, and this is just more like a 3D modeling, because I do 3D modeling, and that's why I feel so passionate about it. But we can't say support the artist, fuck AI, it steals from artists, when you don't want to support actual artists in this space. Like you gotta pick a struggle, babe. Like you can't cry about people charging for mods and then be like anti-AI because it steals from people, and why would I pay for this mod where I could just steal it and get a Sims 4 file share? Like you are a walking contradiction on the internet. So you either support artists or you do not. And when it comes to the mod debate, if people want to support artists, how does that affect your gameplay? Like if I'm buying into a 3D penis, if someone's charging me $2 a month to get early access to pixel dicks, right? And if that's what I want to do with my money, how does that affect you and the community as a whole? Because it's optional. You do not have to have this in your game. If I create mods tomorrow, right? And if I give early access to these mods, how does that impact you? If, you know, I'm giving people a 2-week time frame to have early access to this mod and you get it for free on day 16. Because with early access, quiet as it's kept, people are testing that. Like people are testing the meshes on different body types and things like that. And then sometimes during early access, the creator will give an update and say, thank you for the feedback. This is going to be ready for the official release on this day. And then sometimes early access items might have to be pushed back because they might have to be re-weight painted and things like that. The same way you support early access games, that's what these modders are doing. But in the same breath, I will say that it is very greedy and irresponsible for anyone to charge for any mod with Paralives, with the state of the game right now. The game is just way too unstable for you to charge someone for a mod where they probably won't be able to use it consistently because the game, like the live mode experience, just is not there yet. So how dare you? And it's not like 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 is like hard for cash. 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 got coins, okay? They have a lot of Patreon supporters, and they did not need to charge for this mod at all. So it was just, it's very greedy. And I think that right now with Paralives, I am a part of the camp that doesn't believe in people charging for mods until the game continues to improve through early access. But knowing, like, they released this 5 days ago. So I think this was even before the patch came out. So just knowing how unstable the game is, for you to turn around and charge people for something is ridiculous. And I just want to talk about a creator that was selected to work with Paralives, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 Sims. I used to watch 𝐻𝒶 years ago. Okay, I used to watch 𝐻𝒶, but over the years, I don't know if 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 bought a bag of M&Ms, but accidentally was sold a red pill. But the 𝐻𝒶𝓅's content has changed over the years. Like, it's just like some of his rhetoric is just low-key red pilled. And I did not realize some of the stuff that he says, but he's always talking about like woke agenda. I see that a lot of people have been defending 𝐻𝒶𝓅 because he's British. A lot of British people. And the British people that I know would never say the shit that you say. Can say wholeheartedly that 𝐻𝒶𝓅 on Sims being British has nothing to do with how people are reacting to this. So if, again, you missed it, 𝐻𝒶𝓅 on Sims was included as a Paralives partner, which is very confusing because Paralives is presenting themselves to be very inclusive, very diverse. There's like no gender conformity. So I don't know how they vetted their partners, but to know that they included someone who has been spewing a lot of anti-Black rhetoric, a lot of transphobic things. And I know that 𝐻𝒶𝓅 is a white gay man, but like some of the stuff that he says about like the LGBT community, sometimes like teeters into that area that's both anti-Black and anti-LGBT. And it's very confusing why anyone from the Paralives team would watch his content and hear him talk about hating the woke agenda and say, who would be a great partner for Paralives? This guy. How did that happen? And again, this is a new team. They're an indie team. So I'm sure this is something that they learn from and that they'll grow from in the future. So many people feel like 𝐻𝒶𝓅 is anti-Black, anti-LGBT, and transphobic. And it's not like we're all making this up. It's just who he is. And like I said, I don't think his content was always like that, but he wasn't someone that I would watch religiously. I would just watch him on occasion. But I noticed, I would say like 2024, 2025, his content started to get a bit weird. So I feel like, I don't think there was anything official from the Paralives team speaking about it. And then of course, 𝐻𝒶𝓅 was playing the victim, like, oh, everybody's being mean to me because I say anti-Black and transphobic stuff, but they don't understand that I'm just British and I'm just being funny. No, babe, you're just being a bigot. And I am firm in my belief that something official should have been said, because I'm not gonna lie, like that did not sit well with me. Just knowing that he is the type of person that the team feels represents him is alarming. And I checked and I double checked, and outside of Reddit, I don't think anything official was said. But I feel like 6 months from now, 3 months from now, people don't forget, everything on the internet lives forever. And this might be something that the team would want to get ahead of, as opposed to just letting it simmer down. Because I don't believe they stopped working with 𝐻𝒶𝓅, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But those are the hot topics for now. This first podcast, I don't know what it is about the pilot, but this first episode is going to be very long. So if people finish this, I'm going to be shocked. So with that being said, let's get into the Doll House Diary of the week. And I'm going to try my best to be very brief here. So the diary segment of Doll House Diaries is where I share my experience with these games and I give you the platform to do the same. I have some very amazing guests lined up for the show, and I'm so excited for you guys to just hear from all of us everyday people who have been playing these games, how we found these games, how we use these games to be creative. And I figure since this is the pilot episode, I'd start with myself. So again, I'm Ivory, and I've been playing life simulation games for a long time. I started with the Sims 2 Castaway. So when I was younger, I've always wanted my own PlayStation, and I don't know if it was because I was a girl or if, my mom was just like, well, your brother has a PlayStation, why would I buy you one? but I always wanted to get The Sims 2 on PlayStation. And I remember, I don't know how I got the money. I think it might have been Christmas money or something like that. But I remember The Sims 2 Castaway. I bought it for PlayStation 2. And I remember being so hooked on that game. I beat it multiple times with multiple ways. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with The Sims 2 Castaway. And like I said, me and my brother shared his PlayStation, and it was perfect timing because it was football season and he was doing football camp. So I would just be home alone as a kid. Anyway, well, we probably will never talk about that another day, but I spent a lot of time alone as a child by myself, or me and my younger brother, I would have to watch him. And I remember just playing The Sims 2 Castaway for hours and hours that summer. And I remember just being hooked. Like, that became my favorite game. And I remember when I played The Sims 2 Castaway, this is going to sound very sad, but I was a kid. And like I told you guys, I was home alone a lot. And I remember playing that game. And for that summer, even though I was like home by myself, I didn't feel alone, which should have been a red flag for me, but I was a child. But I just remember the game keeping me company. And later on, I would try The Sims 2 on PC. And although I liked it, for me, it didn't do what The Sims 2 Castaway on PlayStation did. So The Sims 2 really wasn't my gateway drug into Doll House Life simulation games. It was The Sims 3. Baby, that was crack on the streets in my household. The Sims 3 captivated me. And one thing about me when I was growing up, I was a very, I wouldn't say shy kid, but I was very reserved. So I didn't talk a lot. I kept to myself a lot. I did everything my mom, dad, and stepdad told me to do. I was very deep into academics. I didn't do sports. So my idea of extracurricular activities were Millville Youth Leadership Academy, teaching me how to be a young leader, reading books in the summertime for the library at the Vineland Public Library, the Millville Public Library, and getting like free ice creams for reading. Spanish club, international club, like learning how to speak Spanish and, joining international clubs, building bridges, not walls, a summer camp at Wood School Elementary, teaching me how to be a leader and build connections with people. Which, I've done so much like youth leadership and like leadership stuff through high school. You would think that I would be a social butterfly. I'm not. I did a lot of reading, and for fun, when I wanted to have fun, I would sketch, or I would get paper and I would staple it together, and I would like create picture books for my mom. She still has some of these, but like that was my concept of a good time. Like, let's read. Like, what am I taking from the library this week? Let's take out a book on neuroscience, right? Like, I'm just trying to paint the picture for the type of child I was for you guys. In 5th grade, we had like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I went there in like a business suit. I borrowed one of my mom's like 2-piece business suits. And I got some books out on the brain and neuroscience and neurology, 10 years old, mind you. And I went to this career day saying, when I grow up, I want to be a neuroscientist. And I started talking to people about the amygdala and the hippocampus, like, oh my gosh, like I was that child, okay? So I was very reserved and very good. I was the good child, the middle good child, the only daughter. So when I got The Sims 3, as the very reserved girl, introvert that I was, The Sims 3 introduced me to chaos. And it wouldn't necessarily be any way that I would communicate or anything that I would do in the real world, because I was raised to like be seen, not heard, to get good grades, do everything you're supposed to do, practice playing your clarinet, practice playing your bass clarinet, What are your grades like? What have you read? So like, that's kind of how my mom raised, just me, because I always shown a passion for academics when I was younger. So she did not play when it came to me in school. So she was very strict. I love my mama, but my mama was a strict Black mother, okay? So I really wasn't allowed to like go out and do stuff. I didn't get to experience house parties or anything like that until I was in like my senior year of high school. And I only was able to do the stuff because me and my best friend would lie to our moms together. We would lie to our moms together and sneak out and get high as fuck and just have fun. And I am grateful because if my mom wasn't so strict, I would have been a product of my environment. But there were a lot of things I just didn't experience until I was like 17, 18. And when I got The Sims 3, I was able to release my inhibition in a chaotic way. And I am a writer. I love writing. I love storytelling. So I started seeing how I could use these games to like tell stories and, just be chaotic. And I know sometimes when it comes to my live streams and things like that, I know a lot of people get concerned because my role play, my gameplay is chaotic. And I never really speak on why it's chaotic. But even as an adult, I'm still a very reserved person. And I feel like my gameplay just doesn't mirror who I am as a person. Because when you're raised to be, goody two-shoes, I'm still a goody two-shoes as an adult. So when you're raised to be a goody two-shoes, you really don't have the freedom to express yourself in a way that is disruptive, loud, obnoxious. Like I never had the freedom to do that as a child. I never had the freedom to be overtly emotional and chaotic. And with The Sims 3, for the first time, I found a way to channel, I guess, a lot of that suppressed energy that I had. And when I tell you that was like a needle to a vein for me, I got hooked and I found the Tumblr community. I remember finding like spaces like the Black Simmer and things like that as I got to like college age and posting on Tumblr and sharing stories. But for the first time, I was able to just channel a part of me that I never knew lived inside of me. So I am a cozy, chaotic player. I just get so much joy from sharing stories that are so absurd and wild and exhilarating. And because it's like not anything that I would do in real life, me personally, I'm not trying to sit up in nobody's prison. I don't want to go to jail. Like I am a child of a convict. I've been to a prison. I've had to visit a parent in prison, okay? And when I was like 7, 8 years old, I made up my mind that I was never going to break law, okay? Because one of my parents is a convicted felon. And I just remember like the experience of like visiting them when they were incarcerated and looking at the surroundings. I was up there, I think we were at the Bridgeton, maybe it wasn't Bridgeton, it might have been another New Jersey state penitentiary. I just remember looking around and like the process of like, having to go see somebody that's incarcerated when I was younger. And I was like, oh, this is ghetto. Oh, this is ghetto. Never want to experience this in my life. And I'm so serious when I tell y'all that when I had to go visit my parent, when he was locked up, I was like, yeah, I'm never breaking a law ever. So I was just very good. But through life simulation games, I found the beauty in being bad and being messy and being chaotic. And again, I would never do these things in the real world. Like my 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎 𝒯𝒾𝓂𝓏𝑜𝓃𝑒, 𝐻𝒶𝓅𝓅𝓎, terrible woman, terrible mother, criminal. And I just really enjoy telling her story because it's like, I don't know, for me, it's just like watching like a Netflix drama or something like that. And I know it's not real. I know that it's, you know, not anything that I would ever do. And it's so opposite to me. And I think that the part of me that is a storyteller enjoys the challenge of telling stories in something that is very opposite to who I am as a person. And I often, with Let's Plays, my Let's Plays are usually centered in less chaos. And I think over the years, that's kind of why I feel so disconnected from them, because I try to force myself to assimilate to the status quo, you know, like cozy aesthetic, da-da-da-da-da. And I recently had an epiphany that I could never do these type of Let's Plays. Like I could never be the type of content creator that produces super aesthetic, super wholesome Let's Plays, because I can't tell those type of stories. And for a while, after Zaraya and after Carmen and Sierra and the genetics challenge, I told myself that I would never do another Let's Play again, because I just felt like people aren't interested in it, da-da-da-da-da. And when I finally came back to stream inZOI the other Sunday, I realized that I've been doing a Let's Play since August, and you guys enjoy it. It's very unhinged, but you guys enjoy it. And it gave me the realization that the reason why I always felt so insecure about posting Let's Plays and I haven't been able to commit to them is because I always try to force myself to tell a story in a way that feels unnatural to me. And I recently just accepted that I am a chaotic storyteller. Even when I'm writing, I don't really share my writings a lot. But when I was younger, I used to do a lot of fan fiction for my favorite animes and like Harry Potter and stuff like that. And it was always like more like heavy and dark and dramatic and messy. So even as a writer, somebody who loves writing stories about like horror, suspense, romance that might be a bit darker, I can never center myself in utopian like gameplay. So for me, my gameplay diary is that I found a way, I guess, to channel just like a lot of suppressed stuff, like suppressed things that I've experienced and that I had to endure as a youth, that, you know, through it all, I had to remember to be good, listen, do this, this, and that. And I was a very good kid. You know, I didn't become a product of my environment. I really wasn't sneaky up until I was like 16, 17, but I feel like everybody is at that age. But through all that I had to endure, I was a good child. And I think that because I'm so reserved and because I always had to be the good kid and help out with my younger brother, there was just a lot of stuff that I never processed. When I do tell these type of stories, if it's like through role play, through life simulation games, through Second Life, when I tell these stories, it just shocks me that, you know, you guys just were always there to support me through it and you guys enjoy it. And I would say that, you know, I don't feel like I never want to do another Let's Play again. I feel like if I do ever start another Let's Play, I would have to stay true to what works for me. And that's just chaotic storytelling. And I know that in these life simulation spaces, people really always don't appreciate chaotic storytellers, or, you know, stories that might be a bit more taboo. People prefer the more aesthetic, like cozy, like family gameplay, da-da-da-da. And I really want people to know that might have more heavy Let's Plays or like a more chaotic play style. I really want all of you out there to know that you are valid, your stories are valid, and don't let anyone ever make you feel like, you know, what you're doing in your game is ridiculous. Unless you're doing something weird, like something freaky and weird that you should be locked up and sent to jail for, that's different, because close the game, go see a therapist. But like, if you are just the type of person like me who is a bit more chaotic and carefree and you really don't care for aesthetics, I know that the life sim community overall, they really don't put these type of life simmers and the Sims and inZOI Paralives on a pedestal. I had a lot of people telling me that I was like corrupting the inZOI community, or like I wasn't playing the game right when I started my criminal rags to riches save file, but I kept doing it and people enjoyed it. So keep sharing your stories. You know, there should be just enough space for chaotic storytelling as there is for the cozy storytelling. So, you know, if you ever need someone to confide in, if you ever need someone who is cozy and chaotic to turn to for some comfort or support, I'm always here, because I feel like I'm known for like more chaotic, cozy, like storytelling. But one thing that always shocks me is how people assume that I am like my characters, especially when it comes to role play. People often assume that I am like the stories that I tell until you get to know me and you see that I am the most boring person that has ever walked the earth. I am the most boring, like D&I type of person to ever exist. So sometimes, you know, it's just like these stories come from different parts of us. And if you are like me, who just had to go through some things, I think that these life simulation games are a great way to just process and not allow what you've been through to dictate who you are as a person. And that should be okay. You know, that should be okay. So yeah, I would say that also. Actually, maybe I might save this for another day, because I do want to talk about my journey as a content creator. But I feel like we can have a future Dollhouse Diary with that. So I just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction to me. And we do have some amazing guests lined up this month. Now is the time where I want to do a little bit of Dollhouse unboxing. So first and foremost, I do want to say the first thing that we're going to unbox, I received a throne gift. I can't remember the last time I got a throne gift. I think I've only ever received 2. So I was very shocked to receive these Hello Kitty headphones from Black Widow for my throne wish list. Thank you so much. I use these literally every single day. And oh my goodness, the audio is amazing. They're super cute. And now I am determined to get the rest of the setup. So I need the Hello Kitty keyboard and mouse. So I'll be getting that to add to my setup. So Black Widow, thank you so much for this throne gift. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. We may not have none for a very long time. So I don't really get PR like that. But yeah, don't expect any more swag anytime soon, baby. This might be a one and doneer. So with that being said, we might have to add a different segment to the next show. So if you guys want to share what's going on in your game, share with me your gameplay diary, send me an email to dollhousediariespod@gmail.com. I would love to have a segment where you guys write into the show, tell me what's going on in your game, let me know your thoughts on some hot topics, or just, you know, ask me questions. How am I doing today? What color are my draws? Pause. You don't need to know that. But if you want to ask, I'll still read the question. Now, yeah, write in, send an email, or if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Because like I said, the PR segment, then this really don't happen like that. So we might have to add an alternative. So if you made it this far into the first episode of the podcast, hi Aria. If you made it this far into the first episode, please write into the show, please. Please, we need another segment to keep it going. But with that being said, I do want to say thank you guys so much for your support. I hope you guys like Doll House Diaries, because I don't have the capacity that I used to. I am a student now. And once I'm done doing this school, I'm gonna have to get another degree because the degree that I'm getting, my job is paying for it. So I'm gonna go where they tell me to go. But once I'm done this degree, I do plan on getting both a bachelor's in computer science and a master's degree. So I will be in school for a while. The good news is that some of my credits will transfer easily to a computer science degree. But once I'm ready for that master's, honey, I'm gonna be busy. So Doll House Diaries is going to be how we connect on a weekly basis, because I just don't have the capacity to make 4 or 5 videos a week. So what we can do is have 1 video a week. And I will say, let's set a goal, because editing wise, it will be easier for me to get on camera and do this and, just add clips where I need the clips. So if we get this first episode to 100 likes for episode 2, I will get on camera. I did order a new webcam. I wish I had it when I did my interview for the next episode, but hey, I ordered one, I have a new one, and if we could get this episode to 100 likes, I will be on camera and I will be talking to you guys in 1080p, because I can't do the 4K. It never looks right. But other than that, if you are watching this here on YouTube, listening on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, if they let me in the room, thank you so much for enjoying this episode. I know the first episode was really long. The future episodes might be really long because I am a yapper. But I will say that I have never been this excited to produce any type of content for a long time. So this felt really good. And I think the reason why this episode is so long is because I am so happy and I feel so full. I have capacity to come and sit here and talk to you guys once a week and deliver all of our favorite things in one place. So we get to talk about inZOI, we get to talk about Paralives, we get to talk about The Sims, we get to talk about some of our favorite cozy games. And, like I said, you have the entire week to finish the podcast episodes. And we also have some really, really amazing things, some interviews. And if you want to be interviewed on the show, make sure you check your messages, because you might have received a DM from me on Discord. So if you would like to be a guest on the show, again, shoot me an email or hit me up on Discord, Dollhouse Diary Pod, Dollhouse Diaries Pod at G. Damn, I can't talk. I need to go. The email is going to be in the comment section, child. You'll see it. But other than that, y'all, remember to stay hydrated. Be kind to yourself, because the world is so unkind these days. And I will catch you all in the next episode.
I said 5 in the morning, I wake up to 5 for my yearnings. Fear in my mind is a warning. Pray to the one you're relying. I've been wandering all day. I tried to be fine, but I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. I tried to get by, but I'm burning. I'm behind, my mind it runs. All these thoughts have troubled me. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. My yeah, I really need time now. I need to free mind now. I really need mine now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. I need to free mind now. I really need mine now. Yeah. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me a love that you cannot mix. One is the